Hello friends, my name is Dr. Shanko Sengupta and welcome to the session on Introduction to Microsoft Excel. So what is Microsoft Excel? Microsoft Excel is a graphical interface. It is used to record and analyze numerical data. It helps in mathematical calculations and it also helps in easy representation of data. So how to go ahead and open Microsoft Excel? So on the left hand bottom corner of your computer screen, click on the Start button. Click on All Programs. Scroll down to the folder name Microsoft Office. Click on Microsoft Office. A drop-down menu opens. Click on MS Excel icon. So as you can see on your screen, on the left-hand side, we have clicked on the Start Screen option. Once the Start Screen option opens, we'll click on All Programs. On the right-hand side corner or on the right-hand side middle of the screen, you can see the All Programs window. In this All Programs window, you are supposed to click on Microsoft Office 2013. Once we click on Microsoft Office, we have got all the Office options available. Out of that, we are supposed to click on Excel 2013. Once we click on Excel 2013 or any version, we'll get the Microsoft Excel opening window where we are supposed to click on the option known as Blank Workbook. Once we click on Blank Workbook, the screen which is visible in this slide opens. This is basically a blank workbook. So what does an Excel workbook actually contain? An Excel workbook comprises worksheets, rows, columns, tabs ribbon, tab options and a formula bar. So as you can see on your screen, on the left hand side corner, a worksheet is displayed. On the right hand side top corner, we have the example of a row which is represented by the number 1, and on the bottom half, we have the picture of a column which is represented by an alphabet A. We also have a tabs ribbon which comprises File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review and View. Inside each tab, we have got the tab options available. And for going ahead and calculating any mathematical formulation, we have the formula bar available in MS Excel. So like we were saying, so what is basically a cell? A cell is a combination of a row and a column, and it is also a location inside the worksheet to enter data. So whatever you are seeing on your screen right now is a typical cell, and as we have already said that it comprises of a row and a column. Now how do we go ahead and enter data in a cell? So, for entering any data inside the cell, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to point our mouse on a typical cell. We are supposed to left click on the cell, and then we are supposed to start typing any information or data. So, as you can see on your screen, on the left hand side, we have a worksheet. Inside the worksheet, we have pointed our mouse on this particular cell, which is 1A. So, once we have clicked on this cell, we can directly go ahead and start typing data, or otherwise we can double click on this cell, as you can see on the right hand side. Once we have double clicked on this particular cell, the cursor would start blinking. Once the cursor starts blinking, we can go ahead and enter any detail, any type of information or any data inside the cell. As you can see in the bottom representation, we have entered in cell A1 the information name, and in the cell B1 we have entered the information age. Okay. So, in this first session, what we have dealt with is what is Microsoft Excel, how to go ahead and open Microsoft Excel, what are the various components which are there inside a Microsoft Excel workbook, and what is basically a cell, and how do we enter data inside a cell. So, the next topic that we will be talking about is what is a ribbon in Excel. So, a ribbon has got three options, as you can see on your screen. First is basically known as a ribbon start button. The ribbon start button, as you can see on your screen, is actually your file tab. So, to go ahead and customize the ribbon tab, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to click on the file option, which we will see a little later. Other than the ribbon start button, we have something called as ribbon tabs. The horizontal line which you are seeing on your screen, and inside each ribbon tab you have got a ribbon bar. So, what is the basic difference between a ribbon tab and a ribbon bar? A ribbon tab comprises different types of command options which are grouped together. So, as you can see on your screen, we have the home tab, we have the insert tab, we have the page layout tab, we have the formulas tab, we have the data tab, we have the review tab, and we have the view tab. And inside each of these tabs, we have a specific ribbon bar comprising similar type of commands grouped together. So, to go ahead and understand what is a ribbon. So, a ribbon comprises a ribbon start button. And what is a ribbon start button used for? It is used for the creation of new worksheets. So, you want to go ahead and open new worksheets or any other documents for that matter, you can click on the ribbon start button, which is also the file button on an Excel sheet. You want to save any already created documents. So, you can use the ribbon start button to go ahead and save your work. You want to print any Excel sheet. So, what you can do is, you can go to the ribbon start button and you can click on the print option and start printing your work. The second component of ribbon is basically ribbon tabs. So, like I said, a ribbon tab comprises of different tabs grouped together. So you have the File tab, you have the Home tab, you have Insert tab, you have got Page Layout tab, you have got Data tab available as part of the ribbon tabs. And inside each tab, you have got ribbon bars. So what is basically a ribbon bar used for? A ribbon bar is used for grouping similar commands inside a tab. So if we just take for example the font option in Home tab. So that font option can be used to change the font, to change the font style, to change the size of the font, to change multiple effects inside a font, to underline a specific word, to change the color of the data entered. Now, as you can see on your screen, we have gone ahead and we have opened the Format Cells option on our screen. And like I was saying in the previous slide, that in the Format Cells option, you have got a typical tab known as Font. Here you can change the type of font that you want to use. You can change, as you can see, it's highlighted as Calibri. You can change the font style from Calibri to Roman Times New Roman. You can change the font style to either italic or bold italic for that matter. You can change the size of the font also. So by default, Excel actually incorporates font size 10 or 11 as the underlying size. You can increase it to 12, 14, or you can decrease it to 8, 9 or 10. Similarly, you want to create some effects with your font. You want to strike through a specific word. So you can use the effects option given down below and select the strike through option. So a specific word would be underlined or would be struck through with a horizontal line. Other than that, you can increase or decrease the font effect by using subscript and superscript. You can change the color of the font also, as is given here. So by default, on a white screen background, the color option provided by Excel is black. You want to change the color option to red, blue, green, yellow. You can just select the different color options from this particular drop down. And how do your font would look like? You can get a preview by clicking on this or by just looking into this particular window. So as part of the ribbon tab, we can go ahead and customize our ribbons also. So sometimes we may not need all the tabs available in a typical ribbon. So we can go ahead and do what? We can go ahead and reduce the number of tabs. So for that, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to left click on the ribbon start option or the file option given on the screen. Now, once the file options open, we are supposed to scroll down in the drop down menu, select the options tab. Once the Excel options window opens, we are supposed to go ahead and click on Customize Ribbon. Once the Customize Ribbon window opens, on the right hand side window, we are supposed to go ahead and either deselect or remove check marks for boxes against any of the tabs which we do not want to present on the ribbon tab. And then we are supposed to go ahead and click on OK. As you can see on your screen, First, we are supposed to click on the File tab. Once the file window opens, you can see there are various options provided on the left-hand corner of the screen: Info, New, Open, Save, Save As, Print. So what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to scroll down and we are supposed to select the last tab which is provided to us, known as Options. Once we click on the Options tab, the Excel Options window opens as is represented on the right-hand side of the screen. So you can see at the top, the name is provided to us, which is Excel Options. So once this Excel Options window open, again look at the left-hand corner of the screen, of the second screen, there are some options given. So you have the General option, you have the Formulas option, you have the Proofing option, you have the Saving options. So all these options are provided which have got their own work. What we are interested is basically on the option known as Customize Ribbon. So we would select this option known as Customize Ribbon. Once we select the option known as Customize Ribbon, the window on the extreme right-hand corner of the screen opens. The window on the extreme right-hand corner of this screen screen opens. And as you can see very clearly on the screen, that different tabs which are already available on our ribbon tab is provided, like Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data. Now what we are supposed to do is, we do not want some of these tabs to be available on the Excel screen. As you can see on the top diagram, we do not want all these tabs: Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, View. We do not want all these tabs to be present. We want only some of the tabs to be presented on the top of the screen. So for that, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to remove the check mark from the checkbox of the tab which we do not want to represent on our ribbon tab. So maybe, like we were seeing in the previous slide, we do not want the tabs Page Layout, Review and View to be present on the ribbon tab. So what we would do, we would just go to this particular Customize Ribbons window and we would remove the check mark against the tabs Page Layout, Review and View. So the moment we remove these three check marks, as you can see on your screen, we have removed these three check marks against View, Page Layout and Review. At the bottom of the screen, you can see that the number of tabs on the ribbon tab has decreased from the initial 7 tabs which were visible in the screen earlier. Now there are only 4 tabs which are available: Home, Insert, Formulas and Data. So what we basically have done, we have customized our ribbon tab. So the next topic that we will be discussing is a clipboard. So what is basically a clipboard? A clipboard is a feature which allows us to copy 24 items from any documents. They may be documents from Office or they may be documents from other programs. and we can copy the documents, or basically we can copy the content from the other documents and then paste it into a specific Office document. So, how do we go ahead and enable the clipboard? So, we are supposed to go ahead and click on the Home tab. We know by this time that the Home tab is available on the ribbon tabs, and inside the Home tab you have a small arrow icon in the clipboard section. So, once activated, what we are supposed to do now? We are supposed to go ahead and select how the clipboard is to be displayed when we are working inside a worksheet. So, for that, we can click on the Options button in the clipboard pane to see the available options. So, now let us have a look into the actual demonstration. So, as you can see on the left hand corner of the screen, we have the Home tab. So, once we click on the Home tab, we can go down and we can see that there is an option known as Clipboard provided here, and we are supposed to click on this arrow just beside the clipboard. So, once we have clicked on this arrow option, the clipboard opens, as you can see on your middle screen, and whichever document you are copying from whatever location, it might be an Excel sheet, a different Excel sheet, it might be a Word document, it might be a document which you are copying from the web, it might be a document written in Notepad. So, whichever document that you are copying from, that document would be displayed on the left hand window of this clipboard. And how do we go ahead and, basically speaking, find out the different types of copying and paste options inside a clipboard? There is an Options tab which is given just below this window. Just below the clipboard window, you can see there is an Options tab which is given. It's a drop down menu. So, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to click on this drop down. The moment we click on this drop down, what will happen is the window on the extreme right hand corner of your screen is going to open. So, it generally highlights what? How would your clipboard look like when you are working on a specific worksheet? How do you want your clipboard to look like when you are working on a worksheet? So, what should be our next question is what each of these options basically do. So, let us go ahead and find out. Now, before we look into the display options of clipboard, how are we supposed to actually go ahead and use clipboard? So, like I said, that clipboard can be used to copy and paste different types of items from different documents. So, how are we supposed to go ahead and copy and paste these items? First, we open the file that we want to copy items from. Like I said, that the file might be another Excel sheet, the file might be an already saved Word document, the file might be a PDF file, the file might be a picture file, the file might be any website from which we want to copy. So, once we have gone ahead and opened the file, we are supposed to select the item that we want to copy. And we know that a shortcut in the keyboard to go ahead and copy an item once selected is basically Control plus C, Control C. Now, once we have gone ahead and copied the item, we can continue copying items from the same other files, and we can paste these files or the content which you have copied in the Excel sheet. The Office clipboard basically can store 24 items maximum in a single clipboard. Now, the moment you go ahead and try to copy 25th item from any location, what would eventually happen? The 25th item would be pasted in the clipboard, but the first item on the Office clipboard would be deleted. So, naturally speaking, what clipboard is basically doing? So, as we add items to the Office clipboard, an entry is displayed in the clipboard task pane. So, any new entry would always be added to the top of the pane, and each entry would be accompanied by an icon which would represent what? The source location from where we have copied the content, and a small portion of the copied text or a thumbnail of a copied graphic would also be displayed on the clipboard. And then once we have copied all the different content from different files, what we can do is we can select each of those copied content from the clipboard, and then we can paste it in the locations on the Excel sheet where we want to go ahead and paste them.